What's up guys, Joe here, welcome back to my channel, and today we're back for week 2 of La Vuelta a Espana. Go back and watch the first episode if you missed it, because we're in a very exciting situation. Tobias, not trolling us like he was at the Tour de France, he is in 4th place within 38 seconds of the red jersey. And I think if we take a look at it, we were 2nd on the first mountain stage, and we were also in the top 3 from the GC riders on the 2nd mountain stage. So it's a very exciting situation. We're riding well at the moment with Tobias, but Pale Bilbao with an ominous performance on the Mas de la Costa. And so let's take a look at the stages we have coming up today. Starting on stage 8, fairly interesting. Looks very similar to me to stage 6, to be honest, but we don't have quite the uphill finish here. On stage 9 we have a massive 96 kilometers but 3,500 meters of climbing, some massive climbs. This was the stage Tadej Pogačar won his first Grand Tour stage of many, of course it will be at the end of his career. We have a 33 kilometer time trial to Pau, which I think is in France actually, a flat one. That is going to be a crucial day in the GC. Hilly won on stage 11, same again for stage 12 with some very difficult Basque climbs around the region of Bilbao. Starting in Bilbao for stage 13, and we go up Los Machucos. Going to be a very interesting climb there, of course, max of 25%. So plenty of big GC days coming up before perhaps the sprinter's chance on stage 14. And so the punchers are the favourites for stage 8. Dora Godon riding very well indeed. So is Mark Hirschi, and those are the guys that Magnus Cort Nielsen is going to have to try and beat today. He is aiming for a hat-trick of wins already at this Vuelta. And guys, I don't want to speak too early again, but I tell you what, Tobias, a +4 day today, not a big GC day, but he is not trolling us so far at this Vuelta a Espana. And it's a bit brave to say that ahead of some big mountain stages, but I'm feeling very hopeful. And we've had a big fight on for today's breakaway. I think that we're finally allowed free, and I have got Jimmy Johannessen up there, giving some of our riders more opportunities. I said in the previous episode, that's something we need to do more of in the second week, so I'm just going to try and throw some riders in the breakaways and see what happens. And well, you have to say it probably wasn't worth it today, because 40 seconds to the breakaway and we haven't even reached the major and only categorized climb of the day. And I would have liked to have made it difficult on that climb right there, but I just don't have the firepower to do it, to be honest with you guys. Only a couple of riders have been dropped so far, although I do think that John Degenkolb is out the back, if I'm not mistaken. Taking a look here, though, can't really see any other big sprinters behind. Sam Bennett, there we go, the world champion, is behind, and he won't be partaking in today's sprinty finish. Oh no, I don't believe it. I don't believe it. We were just setting up nicely, and Tobias has fallen in the descent. Oh my word. Guys, wait up for him. Wait up for Tobias. We have 10k to go in the stage. And how unlucky are we at this Vuelta? Can you guys believe it? Can you guys believe it? That could be our GC chances gone in a flash. However, here we go. Tobias has been joined by his teammates. This is the peloton right here. I think we are just about getting back in. We need to go for the line up the road with Magnus Cort Nielsen. We are completely out of position. Haven't really been focusing on this sprint finish. I think that is going to give victory to Mads Pedersen. Magnus Cort didn't really give him the chance that he should have got. It's a top 6 for him, and hopefully Tobias can join this group behind and not lose any time in the GC. It could be close. I can't lie to you guys, I didn't realise we were so close to the finish line. I was so focused on bringing Tobias back to the front group in the same time, and we did so just about. Crisis averted. We're still in 4th place. And I have been waiting for this one. What a stage we have. A super short, supercharged mountain stage. Less than 100k, and Michael Storer is the pre-stage favourite. Very interesting stuff. And can you guys believe it? Of course you can. You know who he is. Tobias gets a -3. The biggest stage of the race so far. In the GC, we're going to have to just chuck loads of riders into the breakaway, because I don't know what else we're going to do today with such a bad day for Tobias. But for me today, Pale Bilbao is the danger man after his performance on the Alto Mas de la Costa earlier in this race, and Bahrain Victorious working early to try and bring in this 22-man breakaway we have up the road. I've got 4 riders here, which is pretty good. Hopefully this group can develop a lead. However, the group has been absolutely decimated by the top of the the climb. Look at this, guys. Riders all over the roads. So many riders dropped. Train and Johannessen has been dropped for us. He's already been caught by the peloton as well. Bahrain assessing a very quick rhythm. This is going to be a tough day. So the Col de la Galina is up next. 114 riders are all that remain in the peloton. Again, the breakaway has come back together a little bit, but still pretty decimated. Court is going to go out the back pretty soon. I think actually he can just protect Anton Charmig for the moment. He's our strongest rider up the road despite that -1 day. Crazy what a race day can do to a rider. Mogensen on a +3 day is so much stronger than Tobias today, who's on a -3. It's crazy. Look at the difference in yellow between the two riders already. We're down to 100 in the main group. So the Alto de la Camella has begun, guys. Similar situation. Charmig in a 4-man group, seconds on the road. We get the nice heli view here. It's still Bahrain victorious. They have that superb mountain team with Bilbao at the forefront of it at this particular Grand Tour. And let's try and stay to the front of the group on the early section of this climb. Okay, so 15k to go for the peloton. We still have 83 riders in this group. It hasn't been too selective so far, which I guess is why Tobias has been able to keep so much yellow at the moment. Charmig doing very well up the road, riding with Sosa, who looks done, and Cattaneo, but almost 2 minutes now to Fabio Follina. And we're now on the gravelled section in the breakaway. Look at Follina up the road. He is so far ahead. I think he is going to go on and win the stage bar. An inspirational late comeback by Anton Charmig. Let's go up to maybe 68 with him. Yeah, I'll try 68 for now. Actually, we'll go 72 to start. We have to try and get going early on the gravel now in the peloton as well. It's about 6k this final section of climbing, 6.4k in total. Let's try and cling on if we can. And here we go, attacks taking place. And I cannot believe it. Doria Godon, 74 mountain in this playthrough. He's in the top 10 in the GC somehow. We come to the front with Mogensen. He is perfectly positioned to help out Tobias to the top of this climb. And I think I'm really hoping we can do a really good job today of damage limitation. And so Magnus Cort Nielsen is going to be done right now. There you go. Tobias is going to lean on Peter Mogensen as we see the attacks of Nairoman, Jonas Giri, Grosjean as well. Peo Bilbao stays in the peloton today as Charmig has dropped his comrades but not going to catch Fabio Follin up the road. Let's use those gels and try and cling on again with Tobias, but the tempo now is really difficult for us. And so with Charmig unable to win the stage, he is going to drop back very briefly to try and help out Tobias with Godon steaming past. 1.8k to go for Tobias Haaland Johannessen. Let's maybe just go like that. Why not? Tobias, 1k to go. Up to 90, my man. Up to 92, 95. We're getting blocked off to the back of this group. I think we're going to lose time that way. Fabio Follin, what a victory. He wins the stage. Peo Bilbao looks great again. Bahrain victorious are going to finish second and third. And I think Tobias is going to do a really nice job today, following his teammate to the line of damage limitation. Really good stage for us considering those race day conditions. I think I should have put Mogensen in the breakaway. I remember trying, couldn't get him to the front in time sadly. I think he could have maybe won this stage. Anyway, 1 minute and 7 loss for him, despite him being on Mogensen's wheel right until the end. So we do lose some time to Peo Bilbao and a bunch of other GC contenders, but only minor time in the end. We're still in that top 6. Although we do lose green to Mark Hershey actually. And so the big time trial, stage 10, coming off the first rest day at this Vuelta, 34 kilometers pretty much. Remy Cavagna is the pre-stage favourite, but lots of options, including Magnus Cort Nielsen. He is our best shot at this stage. But for us, Tobias's performance is crucial. However, our first rider underway today is Jimmy Johansson, and he gets a very nice +3 day, taking him to 77 time trial. This is going to be interesting. Not sure how to judge the pace, but we're going to have to try with one of our better riders. And so I've gone out pretty fast with Jimmy, and we're 35th at that first split. Boy oh boy, okay, we seem to be backloading our time trial and doing somewhat of a negative split, even though I was trying to do the opposite and go out fast. And we have improved going into the second split into the top 20 right now, but I think the mountains on this course, I guess the climbing on this course is going to put paid his chances. So here comes Jimmy into the final kilometre. We have plenty of red left to burn. Let's in fact go 99, maybe back to 95. 99 across the line for Jimmy Jimmy Johannessen, and it's going to be a top 10 place, but some way off Benjamin Thomas. But this, guys, is what we've been waiting for. A +2 day, 78 time trial with Magnus Cort. He can climb much better than Jimmy Johannessen as well, so I'm really hoping this is going to be a really good result. And by the way, Fabio Follina is first again at the finish. This man is on insane form right now. Must be +5s after +5s. Anyway, Magnus Cort at the first split, 33rd place, but we know we seem to be backloading our time trials much better than the AI. So here we go, Magnus Cort under the Flamme Rouge. We have plenty of red again to burn. Let's go 99 to the line and see where we end up. Perfectly timed right there. It's only 10th place, a bit disappointing. And pre-stage favourite Remy Cavagna could be another rider a little disappointed because he is only going to finish 8th place, 25 seconds down. It's very close as Will Barter has just taken the fastest time. Ah yes, a crucial +3 day Tobias. He had his little blip. He forgot that he's not trolling at this Grand Tour like he has been so far this season. A +3 day. He's a terrible time trialist, but hopefully, again, this is going to limit his losses today. So we're over a minute down at the first split, but we know that we seem to improve as this time trial goes on, expecting Iran to be so far ahead of us, maybe even catch us on the road. He's 29 seconds down. You can see us not too far up the road. Hopefully, we can avoid that embarrassment of Iran catching us. And so I'm trying to really press it on the climbs with Tobias, even burning a little red, because we know this is where he excels compared to our other riders. He's more of a pure climber rather than a time trialist, so we need to make up time on those sections. Let's see if it's worked so far. Do we have enough energy left? I don't know. 129 down still. So looking ahead up the road, Mark Hershey in that green jersey, which he's just taken from us, 28 seconds down. Barter still has the best time. Look how close it is at the finish line. And here comes Tobias, 1.5k to go. So I think we've judged this pretty perfectly, done as best we can with Tobias Haaland Johannessen, who crosses the line 1 minute 57 down. It's not great, don't get me wrong, but we avoided Rigo catching us, who is going to finish over a minute down. So less than a minute lost to a very good time trialist in Rigo Iran. We have to be happy here. Michael Storer is next. Not the best time trialist, but he does finish about a minute down as well. But Patrick Conrad on an absolute stormer right now. He is 6 seconds down. And what a Grand Tour Patrick Conrad is having. Tobias Foss, a very good time trialist on paper, is some way off the finish yet. And here comes Foss across the line. A disappointing day for the Norwegian, almost a minute down. He should be gaining big time on this stage. And Bilbao, another decent time trialist, not performing too well. Well, what a stage. A 34-kilometer time trial, and we have 15 riders within 30 seconds. 5 riders within 6 seconds of the first climb. So close. That's what happened, guys, when Filippo Ganna doesn't turn up to a Grand Tour. Neither Wout van Aert as well. Anyway, Patrick Conrad is on super form, and he seems to be the man now coming into form ahead of Pale Bilbao. Similar riders on paper, particularly in the time trial, but Conrad with a really nice performance today. We dropped to 7th place, 2.5 minutes back now, and yeah, we're definitely looking at that top 10 rather than that podium, which is of course what we initially set out for, so we can't complain too much. Very close still all to play for this top 10. And with the time trial, the horrible time trial for us out the way, we have some hillier stages coming up, suiting Tobias more as long as he gets those good race days. I honestly don't think I've seen a rider with such inconsistent race days. Now on -3 for Tobias, it's about clinging on for him in the GC yet again. And so I have managed to place 2 riders into the breakaway. We have Train and Mogensen up the road this time around. Harm van Hooker is here, Fabio Follina. We know he's on a +5. We know he's going to be going well today. So going to be difficult to beat him in a sprint or otherwise. So not feeling too hopeful already from this breakaway, but it's worth a go. All right, we've reached the first major climb today in the finale, I would suggest, and only 4 riders left at the front. Peter Mogensen has been trying to work for his teammate, to no avail though. Only 1 minute we have over the peloton. Oh, and can you believe it? Look at Train, look at Train. He fell from the breakaway. He had been dropped to be fair already, but falling from the breakaway and picking himself back up in the peloton. Well, that was worthwhile going in the breakaway today, wasn't it? But to be honest, that fall from Train shouldn't matter too much because the breakaway have been caught. Still 131 riders in this group. Nowhere near a GC day, luckily for us. And could we have a chance with Magnus Cort, or maybe someone like Anton Charme could attack on this hill that's quickly approaching? All right, we have had an attack now by Remy Cavagna. You know what? I'm going after him. I'm going after Remy Cavagna with Anton Charme. Right, let's see what happens in this group behind. We have a few more. Eddie Dunbar trying to come across as well. well. We have 4k to go, and Sharmik is on Remy Cavagna's wheel, who is the better sprinter. He should lead us out. Dunbar is chasing quickly, only 3k to go right now. I think we're okay in the group behind. Sharmik is going to sit here on Remy Cavagna's wheel, but he's not pacing. He's not pacing for us. We're going to try and play it cool here into the final kilometre. We're going to go now. Anton Sharmik into the final kilometre under the Flamme Rouge. Remy Cavagna, I think, is going to take it easy, but Eddie Dunbar comes late, and Eddie Dunbar is going to steal it from us. Look at that. Almost played to perfection, but Eddie Dunbar, the Irishman, steals Anton Sharmik's victory. I really thought we had that one. I stayed on Cavagna's wheel. I really wanted to try and attack him. I stayed there as long as possible, tried to save up the sprint, but Eddie Dunbar had come across and he outsprints us. Of course, a decent stage for Magnus Cort. Maybe I should have tried to go across with him, but I wanted to give Sharmik the opportunity, and so close. And so the difficult Basque climbs continue today. Very difficult stage here, despite not too much climbing, because the Alto de Arrayets I'm going to go with is uber steep. So is the climb I'm not going to try and say. That all means we need a really good race day from Tobias, which we know we can't rely on. Okay, it's a -1. It's not too bad, I guess. Sticking to my word of trying to throw some riders into the breakaways, Anton Sharmik, after his impressive performance yesterday, is in today's. We have the likes of Matthias Norsgaard here, and not really too strong a breakaway. A 50-year-old Domenico Pozzovivo is up the road apparently, and this stage really suits Sharmik if we can get him to those final climbs with a decent buffer. And I think at this point in the stage we may as well try and challenge for these KOM points. It's Pichon trying to come past Sharmik, and he is just about going to pip us to those points. That's a little annoying, up to 12 points, but look at Fabio Follina, 55 points already. And oh my word, the tempo in the peloton leading into this section of climbing is absolutely massive, and Tobias is struggling to stay in a good position. Look how far back we are in this group already. This is not a good or not good signs for the rest of the stage, and sadly you can see it's only 35 seconds to that breakaway. So the climb is about 1.5 kilometers in length. Sharmik comes to the front of the breakaway. Let's go up to 89. I think we're probably the best climber in that group, bar maybe Domenico Pozzovivo, but in the latter stages of his career, like I mentioned. Look at Johannessen just getting blocked off to the back of this group. Why is he the rider always getting blocked off? I've tried to position all my riders to the front, and he's the one struggling to do so. But anyway, up the road, Sharmik has been able to stretch a gap over his breakaway comrades. That's what I tried to do. Sandro Murasa, the only rider able to somewhat come with us. Alright, so Sharmik emerges onto the Alto El Vivero in the lead of this race, but it's only a slender lead. You can see Johannessen was dropped a little bit. Some riders trying to put him in difficulty. Luckily, we have Anders Garza, our road captain, there to help us. And the tempo today is absurd. Oh my word, Tobias could be in trouble, you know. Up the road though, Anton Sharmik doing a brilliant effort, 28 seconds. The likes of Matteo Fabro, Brandon Rivera, very good climbers trying to close him down. And look at Johannessen, he cannot stay in the front. But luckily, we still have our teammates here to help us out. Sharmik, sadly, I think is going to crack right here. He has 50 seconds. He's not going to be able to hold on to that. And luckily, Johannessen is back in the front, but only 45 riders are here. And Sharmik's lead is growing again. So guys, 13k to go. The Arrayets climb is coming up next. You can see Sharmik about to be caught. This time Johannessen is doing everything he can, and his teammates are doing everything they can to put him in a better position leading into the climb. Alright then, here we go. 8k, 2.2 kilometers, average of 12%. That is just absurd, I must say. Johannessen, try and stay here, my man. Do everything you can. Let's put him up to 87. Train, you can look after him, and I think we'll have Magnus Cort perhaps going after these guys, attacking away. We have Hershey, GC riders trying to get away. Groschartner is there as well. So Magnus Cort, I'm actually going to try with him. He's feeling so good today to join this group up the road. Mads Pedersen is still here as well. What on earth is he doing in this group? And look at Tobias's energy. Come on, Tobias, fight hard. Try and stay here if you can. And so Magnus Cort is on the front. Luckily, he can slow things up for Tobias Haaland Johannessen, who I think is going to stay here. We have 5k to go. Let's follow Mark Hershey. So it's downhill to the line. We have 21 riders here, and Tobias survives another very difficult day at this Vuelta Espana. 3k to go. Mark Hershey is leading the peloton into the finale, but Mads Pedersen is still here. Magnus Cort, surely though, a favourite for this stage. stage. Only 1.5k to go. Let's go for the line with all of our guys. Here comes Court. Here comes Pedersen as well. But Mark Hershey's descending skills are going to give him the victory in Bilbao today. What a rider he is. He's fighting for that green jersey against Magnus Court, who's just beaten into second. He finishes third place, and Tobias, what an effort fighting today from him. So a potentially very challenging day turns into a pretty decent one. A lot of riders get the same time in the end. I thought we might have had a gap on the likes of Pale Bilbao. Anyway, still we stay in 7th place. And so the final GT day of today's video, guys, Los Machucos. We know how steep it is. We know how important this stage is going to be. We get the day we hope for. Tobias gets that +2 day on such an important stage. Come on, this could be his race. We're surviving the bad race days so much better than we did at the Tour, and hopefully that means on these days we can really make inroads in that GC. And so UAE team Emirates control for their green jersey and their red jersey. Will Patrick Conrad still be there at the end of the stage? Anyway, up the road, 15 riders. I wanted to get Sharma in today's breakaway. Sadly, couldn't do it. Anyway, it's a pretty strong group. 15 riders are here, the likes of Pierre Latour, but that man, Fabio Follina, is he still in that incredible form? And I'll tell you what, another rider in absurd form at this Vuelta Espana is Nelson Oliveira. Do you remember, guys? I think it was on the Avalambre climb in the first week. He was third place from the GC group. He's here again winning the KOM sprints ahead of Follina. Those two guys are so strong. Oh man, another fall for us. Very unfortunate. Anton Sharmag, our super domestique on the day, a +3 day. I think luckily, due to his great positioning, he is just about going to stay in this peloton, but not good timing ahead of the Collado del Asson. Sadly for us, that accident for Anton Sharmag is going to put him completely out of contention. He's not going to be able to help out our leaders today. Look at the gap. He just couldn't get back to the front in time. He is out the back with Anders Garcetz. And so climbing to the top of now the Alto da Alisas, it is Ulissi on the front. 75 riders in the peloton right now. Magnus Court is one of the strongest riders in the breakaway, it seems. We have Follina Mercer and of course Nelson Oliveira with us up the road. We do have 4 minutes. He could play a crucial role as a satellite rider later on. I don't think he's going to be winning this stage though. Right, so Julian Bernard trying to up the rhythm for Arkea Samsic. We are 5 minutes behind that breakaway, and Magnus Court Nielsen is trying to survive with Oliveira and Follina, the riders I picked out at the beginning of the stage. They want us to work. We cannot work them. They're too strong for us. Yep, okay, they're too good for us, particularly Fabio Follina. He is gone. He's dropped Nelson Oliveira. I think now Magnus Court's job is to drop back to the peloton to help out our leader Tobias, who's on such a good day. We're seeing attacks. Nairo Man just tried an early attack, very early attack. And for once, guys, my positioning entering Los Machucos is going to be almost perfect. It's a narrow climb, and that was so crucial right there. Mogensen leads on Tobias Haaland Johannessen. We have an early attack by Felix Großschartner. I think we can maybe go up to 85 with Tobias. Teller and Mogensen aren't really going to be able to help us out for very long at all. Magnus Court, sit up and wait for your leader. But I must say, guys, I'm feeling very good about a strong result today. We're in the perfect positioning in this group. Magnus Court, maybe drop it to 45. Tiller, now it's your turn if you can. Mogensen is now done for the day, but Tobias is so strong today. And so Teller is pulling Johannessen along on this flatter section. He's pretty much done right now. We've dropped the group of GC favourites. Teller is now done for the day. He can cruise in at maybe 55. Now we need Magnus Court to help us out. Drop back and protect us ASAP. Felix Großschartner, so aggressive today. Magnus Court trying to protect us very briefly, apparently. Try and get to the front of us. That is probably where you're going to be most effective. And so there we are. We had a little blast of Magnus Court protection. He is now done for the day, of course. 3k to go, and Tobias is now feeling the efforts of this climb. However, I do believe plenty of our GC rivals are as well. Michael Storer, 4th place in the GC. He is caught behind Hershey, who's in 6th place. He is now dropping as well. And we have now caught Fabio Follina for the lead of the stage. Tobias Foss is here in that white jersey. I'm going to take his wheel, or even Patrick Conrad's. And the front three is Johannessen, Conrad and Tobias Foss. They have gone up the road into the final kilometre. Let's sprint for the line. Not sure if Conrad has anything left. Let's come to the right hand side of the roads. And again, Tobias Foss is going to deny Tobias Haaland Johannessen a stage win at La Vuelta Espana. We come 2nd place to him for the 2nd time in this race. And what a stage that was. That was crucial in our GC. We take massive time I'm a little gutted that Tobias Foss, again, our former rider, denies Tobias what would have been his second stage win at this Vuelta Espana. If we go back to stage 5, of course, the same result with Foss beating Johannessen to the line right there. But we cannot be disappointed. That was a massive stage in the fight for our top 10 place in the GC. By the way, jokes that Doro Godon is still riding up mountains at the same speed as Nairo Man. However, I'm so happy with our performance today. Another man though who should be happy is Patrick Conrad. He is rising to the test in that red jersey, still first place. Could we see Patrick Conrad win a Grand Tour, guys? If not, Tobias Foss, Peo Bilbao, Tobias Haaland Johannessen is there, Michael Storer, riders you wouldn't have put up there to win a Grand Tour this season, that's for sure, at the beginning of the year. But it's a very interesting race nonetheless. And interesting today to see that Conrad, Foss and Johannessen do seem to be the riders on the rise at this race. Peo Bilbao, he started off so well in the mountains, maybe fading as the race is going on. And okay, one final stage of this episode, guys, before we head to the final week in the next one. Heading to Oviedo, it is a sprint stage and another chance for Magnus Cort Nielsen maybe to get that green jersey back. So talking of that green jersey, as you can see, today's small breakaway yet again. The gap to Hershey is now 9 points. So it's a close fought battle again. Maybe Mark Hershey is going to be our arch nemesis for this green jersey race, like Wout van Aert was at the Tour de France. And so 13k to go. It has been Quick-Step Vu chasing all day for the world champion Sam Bennett. The breakaway, the remnants of the breakaway are about to be caught, and it has been a difficult day. You can see by our guys' energy, this has not been too straightforward, and we do have some riders that are dropped right now. And so here we go, 6k to go. We have Skarset, Johannessen, Tiller and Magnus Cort, our guys in the perfect position. We do have a false flat finish today, probably about 2 to 3%, so it is somewhat steep. It's certainly not a pure flat sprint today, so we do need to go a little later than we would usually. Skarset is now done. We have Jimmy now on the front, Trek in a great position with Mads Pedersen. Sam Bennett has burned all his riders, bringing in the breakaway rather than using them as a lead out. Interesting choice. He is following Mads Pedersen, or trying to. We now have 2k to go. Rasmus Tiller, 1.6k. He is going to launch the sprint. Magnus Cort Nielsen into the final kilometre. We're getting blocked in a little bit. We go for the line though. Have I gone too late? Tiller trying to hold on. Magnus Cort Nielsen trying to win it, but Søren Kragh Andersen is going to deny his countryman. Oh, Magnus Cort, almost a hat-trick of victories. So close. Well, what an episode, guys. What a series of stages. Søren Kragh Andersen, a surprise winner, it must be said. A strong rider, but certainly not a sprinter of Magnus Cort or Doro Godon's ability. Yeah, strange sprint. The pure sprinters were absolutely nowhere in the end. No time gaps really today, which does mean Tobias stays in that 4th place. Very excited to see if he can hold on to that or even go a little better in the final week. We do snatch back the green jersey at the last today with Magnus Cort. Great to see, whilst Fabio Follina, I think, has that mountain jersey wrapped up. And we are in a fight, a dogfight, with our fellow Norwegian for that white jersey as well. And of course, in the next one, we will have a series of mountain stages. Boy, oh boy, look at that. That is a bit scary, just a little bit scary. I cannot wait to see how this race is going to end. Stage 20 is going to be absolutely massive as well. Massive chance at the last to make up some ground in the GC. It's going to be a fun finish, guys. I hope you're looking forward to it. If you enjoyed today, smash that like button down below. Really helps the channel out. Tell me what you thought in the comments below, and I will see you guys in the next one.